Hey everybody, just doing a late night update here on Friday, the 21st of February. So basically we're just kind of looking at it after the Bybit hack. Apparently 1.4 billion got stolen, and all signs point currently to the Lazarus group and out of North Korea, and it was a social hack. You know, they had identified the multi-sig users and were able to get them to download malware, which affected their UI for a company called Safe, which was their multi-sig user. Very sophisticated, and it was the biggest crypto hack of all time. So pretty crazy stuff to say the least. However, the Bybit team, is really quick to draw a conclusion. FTX. I know a lot of people who got burned from that really bad. I don't see that at all yet. There's no evidence of it. The next 48 hours for Bybit are probably the most crucial in the company's history. And if they can pull themselves out of this, and it's a huge loss, but they're saying that they're covered, and if they are, it'll probably just reinforce trust in the long term. But in the short term, everyone's panicking and exiting and all that jazz. So that being said, let's look at the market stuff and then look at crypto. So some bad data points came out with some good stuff for the dollar, some bad stuff, existing home sales not hitting the mark, but nothing too crazy. Just going for next week, just so everyone's clear, Monday's a Japanese holiday. CPI data is coming out for the Eurozone, and nothing really major until we start getting into new home sales, which is kind of like a macro market figure. And then Thursday, Friday next week, pre-market, lots of data dropping, especially durable goods, GDP, all that stuff, core PC. But anyways, we'll go forward onto Bitcoin. So we were looking really great even earlier this morning. We saw a quite big change from the 18th. We were at 71% long, getting down to a low that broke underneath the 50 line, I believe, on the 4 hour, got right towards it. So almost 1-to-1 long short ratios. And then obviously, something terrible happened. Black Swan event coupled with some local liquidity grabs and failures. I talked about like the key zone at 99K, and we got a big failure from it that pushed us much, much lower to retest things. On the funding rate side, the funding rates, once the hack started being announced, all of the exchanges, including Bybit, they're all forcing the price down right now. This is being manipulated in large part. OKX, DYDX, Bybit, super high bearish funding rates, effectively making it very lucrative, like positive funding rates. These are making it lucrative for traders to take shorts, and not just traders, but they're market makers, they're liquidity providers. So this is a definitely controlled view move, completely. Bybit as well. Basically, you're getting paid to short the crap out of it right now. So that's in large part what's happening. On the liquidity delta for spot, we're seeing some aggressive spot buys here at the low, which is nice. Same thing on the perpetual side. It started stepping in, obviously, as we were breaking down still, but big bad break really occurred here earlier in the day. Once that break occurred, that was the bearish retest that failed the whole structure. In any case, there's good longs trying to step in right now. We'll see if the market can stabilize. There's some good levels to get above for the end of the weekend. On the liquidation side, this is what we talked about. We got the big chunk taken out at 99K. We saw a massive swing failure, and it was the easiest short ever once we broke under 98K. Done. Love it. It's basically free money at this point. We're getting into good liquidity. It's getting a bit thin at the actual lows, but we still have a good amount of local liquidations. Excuse me, not liquidity, liquidations. And we've broken a lot of the structure very, very, very fast. So just keep that in mind as you're trading. If we do break the low here, then this entire thing comes into wreck the shorts, break everything. There's no chance of, going higher. And now we're going back into the 91, potentially sub 90 stuff, which is not what we want to do, especially going into the weekend. We want stability, stabilization, and above all else, we want to close above 94.5, and I'll show you why. On the liquidity side, so these are limit longs and limit shorts that are stepping in by size. Plunge protection tried to step in around 96. They got wrecked really badly. There's guys stepping in right now, and it seems to be holding. There's some aggressive ones coming just below like 95K, very, very large orders trying to stabilize the price. This is not out. We're not out of the woods with this dump yet. It is not 100% over with. What we would want to see is some local regains, getting back above 95, 95.5, where we're at 95 now. We want to get above 95.5, and then ideally we get back above 96.5. That's going to be the inflection point that if we can regain this, it actually starts to stabilize price a bit, because we're still technically in the middle of the free fall. This is technically not over until we regain something of much more significance as far as structure. So with that being said, looking over at the chart itself, I posted this earlier today and I said, hey, we just grabbed all the big liquidity. And I also told the guys on the MDX side, if we lose 98K, which we did, it's going lower. And we did. We broke it really bad on a 4-hour. We had a 4-hour close that was really nasty, really sneaky underneath the previous 4-hour closes. Nice retest off a cliff. Black Swan event exacerbated the price action, wrecked us completely to the downside from the actually very strong daily open. So that being said, 94.5 is a very high time frame daily and weekly level. I'll just go on the daily real quick to show that point. So this is a significant change. We want the daily to potentially recover 95, actually not 99.55, it's 95.6. That would be ideal. The better we can regain, obviously, the better for the overall price. So not great. Big black swan. It's still in effect. Don't try to smashing the green button really until you get some confirmation of the low is in. This has now changed everything in a very short amount of time that we're potentially going lower. You know, we had really big failures, retest failure, new supply zone created, even on the 1 hour, even lower time frame, and it's still occurring, right? We're not out of the woods on this thing yet. And yeah, that's just the number one big thing here. So if anything, what we would want to see is price stabilization. There's still some technical support here at 95. If we can hold this 95 support and actually close out like a couple good 1 hours, we want to see some gains back. Even if we can get back towards the weekly in December, that'd be ideal, but there's a very short amount of time left on the current day. I would want to see, you know, the more bullish, the better as far as price recovery, but this has changed now. This has happened. So what does this mean? With this major change of structure, you're looking for underside failures now. So we grabbed the liquidity, we talked about it, we lost the levels that we didn't want to lose, and tentatively we're able to short failures as they came up. So again, it's rough. It happened. I hope some people caught it. I know I caught some of it. Most of the people in the chat, once we start breaking 98K, just smash the short button. So yeah, we'll see where we end up. The higher time frame is really simple. We need to do something really good on the daily to actually recover this stuff. And then on the weekly open specifically, obviously we do not want to close under 94.5, and especially down here under the yearly open at 93.5. That would be kind of catastrophic if we were to do that now. So keep an eye on it. Let's see what we do. If we do those things, I think we are going sub 90. I think we're going back to like 84, 82, something like that potentially. So be cognizant of it. Let's see. There's no exchange that's ever survived this type of major hack like Bybit. I think they can do it. I think I have faith in the team. They're a really good group of people, and I think if they can survive it, it'll actually benefit long term that they can actually survive this type of like terrible thing. So, anyways, that's that. That's the market update. It is Friday. Have a good weekend, and make sure you set alerts. Right, so set an alert for 94.5, set an alert up here at like 96.5. That way you get alerted even on the weekend if you get some significant changes in the price action. So that's it. Catch you Monday. Peace.